Hi guys, my name is Sabrina and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another iPad Procreate episode for you and I'll be showing you guys how to work with the adjustments. So without any further ado, let's get on to the video. So when you go to the wand tool at the top of the screen, you have Gaussian blur, and that's the very first thing. And the only thing you have to do is move the cursor from left to right. So move the pencil on your screen from left to right, and that will give you a degree of Gaussian blur. The second one in the same menu is motion blur, and motion blur is kind of a movement kind of blur that you apply. So Gaussian blur really expands outwards from the whole picture on in every direction, and motion blur really goes into one particular direction, as you can see here. Next up is perspective blur. So perspective blur really gives you a blur from looking from a certain angle. So that's what it does. So if you look down, then the top side will be blurred basically, and pretty much where you move the little circle over here on the opposite side is where you get the blur. And by moving the pencil from left to right on the screen, you can adjust the degree of blur that you'll get. If you've got a kind of a blurry image and you want to sharpen it, you can also select sharpen, and that will help you to try and sharpen the actual image that you've got in front of you. And next up is noise. Noise kind of adds a grainy texture to your image, as you can see, and for whatever reason, if you want that, this is where you'll find it. And then we have liquify. Liquify is a very fun option to play around with. It can give you a very artistic kind of feel to your drawing, and there's multiple different options, as you can see at the bottom here. So play around with that, and this is what you do. You just move the cursor around and you'll see exactly what it does on my screen right now. All the different options have a little different effect on the image that you've got in front of you, and if you just want to fool around and play with it, I haven't been able to make something nice using the liquify tool, but someone else might have, and it's, as I said, it's fun to play with. And then we're going to hue, saturation and brightness, and this is something that I always find in Photoshop as well. You've got the same kind of feel as a Photoshop program with these sliders. You can basically change the color, you can desaturate the color, and you can say I want the color much brighter or less bright. So you can really work with that in that regard, and it's quite nice. And then you've got something similar with the color balance as well, but that makes sure that you stay within the actual color that you've got in front of you. So it doesn't change the color, but it desaturates it or just adds a little bit of a hue onto what you've got already. And we have curves. Now curves is basically, it helps you with the shadows and the highlights, and you can change that using these sliders as well. And if you go overboard, it will tell you, and you can really see the image change when you use these sliders. Really good for pictures. It actually helped me quite a bit as well, even for my videos. And the last option in the adjustments menu is recolor. Now all it did for me is add a color on the entire screen, and you can get that from like the right side as well. When you pick a color and then drag it onto the screen, outside of the heart you can get the same thing. So these are basically all the adjustments that there is in the adjustments menu in Procreate, and that's what I want to show you guys. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below, and thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.